New Gemini Canvas update is insane! You're still switching between 10 different tabs just to get one thing done. You search for something, then you open a doc to write it up, then another tool to build it, then another to share it. That's not a workflow, that's a mess. And while you're doing all that, Google just quietly dropped something that changes everything. It's called Gemini Canvas in AI mode, and it's now free for all US users inside Google Search. I'm Ava, your AI educator, and today I'm breaking down exactly what Gemini Canvas is, how to access it, what you can actually build with it, and the prompts that get the best results. Plus, I'll share 4 tips that most people are completely missing. Stay with me. What is Gemini Canvas? Let's start with the basics. Gemini Canvas is a workspace that lives right inside Google Search. It launched as an experimental feature through Google Labs back in July 2025. And on March 4, 2026, Google rolled it out to all users in the US. So what does it actually do? Canvas turns Google Search from a tool that answers questions into a tool that helps you build things. Documents, apps, dashboards, code, all inside one side panel without ever leaving your browser. Think of it like this. Before Canvas, you would search for something, get the answer, then go somewhere else to actually do something with that information. Now you can do both in the same place. Search and create, research and build, all in one window. And here is the important part. You do not need to code. You do not need a subscription to get started. You just need to be a US user in English and have access to Google Search's AI mode. How to access Gemini Canvas. Here is exactly how you get into Canvas. First, go to Google Search and make sure AI mode is enabled. You will see it as an option when you search. Once you are in AI mode, look for the plus button in the tool menu. Click it, select Canvas, and a side panel opens up. That is it. From that side panel, you describe what you want to create. Use plain language. No technical knowledge needed. Gemini reads your prompt, pulls information from the web and from Google's knowledge graph, and starts building your output in real time. For subscribers on Google AI Pro or Google AI Ultra, you also get access to Gemini 3, which is Google's most advanced model as of November 2025, along with a 1 million token context window. That means you can work with much larger, more complex projects. But even on the free tier inside Search, Canvas is genuinely powerful for everyday tasks. And I will show you exactly what those tasks look like. What Canvas can actually do. Canvas handles 3 main types of work. First, writing and documents. You can draft anything from a blog post to a study guide to a business brief. You describe the topic, give it some context, and Canvas builds a structured draft. Then you can keep chatting with Gemini in the side panel to refine it, adjust the tone, expand certain sections, or cut what you do not need. Second, app and tool building. This is where Canvas gets impressive. You describe an app idea in plain language and Gemini generates the code. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, a working prototype. You can then test it right there, see the underlying code if you want to look at it or tweak it, and keep refining through conversation. Google has specifically highlighted that Gemini 3, which powers the app building side of Canvas, has stronger vibe coding capabilities than previous models. Third, research and interactive content. If you run a deep research report inside Gemini, you can take that report directly into Canvas and turn it into a web page, an infographic, a quiz, or even an audio overview. That is a huge time saver for anyone who does research as part of their work. So the 3 pillars are documents, apps, and research outputs. And all 3 live in the same side panel while you are already inside Google Search. When I first started using Canvas, I was honestly a bit overwhelmed by how open-ended it felt. A blank side panel and a prompt box. That is when I found a community called AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 members, all focused on learning AI tools together and sharing what actually works in real workflows. It taught me which prompts save time and which ones just create more editing. The community shares real use cases and practical implementations. If you are serious about using AI to improve how you work, check it out. Link in the description. 3 powerful use cases. Here are 3 ways you could realistically use Canvas, based on the features Google has confirmed it supports. Use case 1. Build a custom dashboard. Say you are managing a project and you want one place to track everything. You could open Canvas and describe what you need, something like a project tracker with task status, deadlines, and a progress section. Based on Canvas's confirmed app building capabilities, it can generate a working interactive tool that you can test and refine with follow-up prompts. Use case 2. Turn research into a shareable resource. This one is actually a use case Google has specifically documented. If you run a deep research report inside Gemini and then open Canvas, you can convert that report into an interactive quiz, a web page, an infographic, or an audio overview. Google built this workflow directly into how Canvas and deep research work together. Use case 3, prototype a simple web app. You have an idea for a tool, maybe a simple calculator, a checklist, a timer. Canvas is designed to let you describe it in plain language, generate the code, and produce a working version you can test before sharing. Google and its VP of Google Labs have both highlighted this kind of vibe coding as one of Canvas's core use cases. No developer needed for early prototypes. And here's what I want you to notice. None of these use cases required leaving your browser. No switching apps, no exporting and importing. One window, one conversation, multiple outputs, pro-level prompt templates. Let me give you some prompt structures that get much better results in Canvas. For document creation, start with the output format, then the topic, then the audience. For example, create a structured one-page brief on the benefits of async work for a team of 10 people who work across different time zones. The more specific you are upfront, the less editing you have to do after. For app building, describe the function, the user, and one specific interaction. For example, build a simple web app where a user can input a weekly goal and check off daily tasks. Make it visual and clean. This gives Canvas enough context to build something actually useful rather than a generic placeholder. For research transformation, tell Canvas both what you have and what you want to turn it into. For example, I have a research report on remote work trends. Turn it into a 10-question quiz with multiple choice answers and explanations for each correct answer. That specificity matters. 4 tips for better results. Okay, here are 4 things most people are not doing that make Canvas significantly more useful. Tip 1. Be specific about the format you want up front. Do not just say, make me a dashboard. Say, make me a dashboard with 3 columns, color-coded status labels, and a notes section at the bottom. Canvas builds closer to what you need when you describe the structure, not just the topic. Tip 2. Use follow-up prompts to iterate. Canvas is not a one-shot tool. It is a conversation. After your first output, keep going. Say things like, make the tone more direct, add a section on risks, simplify the language, or change the layout. Each follow-up refines the output. This is where the real productivity gain happens. Tip 3. Combine it with Google Search before you prompt. Before you open Canvas, do a quick search on the topic you are working on. Let AI mode pull in current information. Then when you open Canvas and start prompting, Gemini can draw from that fresh web context. You get a more accurate, more current output. Tip 4. Toggle the code view. If you are building any kind of app or tool, always click to see the underlying code at least once. Even if you are not technical, this helps you understand what Canvas actually built. And if something looks off in the output, seeing the code often makes it obvious why. You can describe the fix in plain language and Gemini will adjust it. Availability and what to know. A few important things to know about where Canvas works right now. It is available to all US users in English inside Google Search's AI mode. It works on desktop and some mobile surfaces, though Google has noted that certain editing features like text style and format adjustments are only available on desktop in the web app. The mobile experience lets you access your Canvas projects but has some limitations. For the full Canvas experience, including Gemini 3 and the 1 million token context window, you would need a Google AI Pro or Google AI Ultra subscription. But the base Canvas experience inside AI mode for free users is still genuinely useful for everyday tasks. Google has also indicated that file upload support is coming to Canvas in AI mode in future updates, which will make it even more useful for study and research-based workflows. Canvas in AI mode is specifically part of the broader push to turn Google Search from an answer box into a real working environment. As of this rollout, it is one of the most accessible AI workspace tools available, largely because it sits inside a product that more than 100 million people were already using in AI mode. Wrapping up, So here is the short version of everything we covered. Gemini Canvas is now live in Google Search for all US users. It turns your search bar into a workspace for writing documents, building app prototypes, and transforming research into interactive content. You access it through the plus menu in AI mode. You do not need to code. You do not need a subscription to get started. And the prompt structures I shared will get you much better outputs than a vague request ever will. The biggest thing I want you to take away: Canvas works best as a conversation, not a one-shot prompt. Iterate, refine, keep chatting. That is where the real power is. If you are looking to go deeper with AI tools and actually implement them into your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 people learning how to use AI effectively and sharing what is actually working. Not hype, not theory. Real use cases from people doing the work. What saves time? What does not? Which tools are worth your time and which ones to skip? It has helped me stay current on updates like this one and figure out how to actually apply them to real workflows. Link in the description if you want to check it out. And if you want the full process, step-by-step workflows, and over 100 AI use cases like the ones we covered today, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and the description. You will get all the video notes from there, plus access to a community of 58,000 members who are putting these tools to serious use. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe because we cover AI tools like this every week. I will see you in the next one.